Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who, on May 11th, just won a race in Kansas.
Wow.
Super duper cup out there in Kansas.
Yep. Boom.
This guy, if he's driving it, he's probably winning. He's raced on parking lots.
What?
And go-karts.
What?
He's raced on dirt and sprint cars.
What?
You put him on maybe one of those little kid cars, he's going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, NASCAR superstar, Rookie of the Year in IndyCar last year. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Larson.
Yeah,
Kyle! It's supposed to be a very awkward walk.
Y'all ready for this?
That was a good one. How you doing, brother?
That was good. Y'all ready?
Hey, it's supposed to be a really...
backdoor pin.
I like that. I like what you did. Hey,
Yeah.
that's driving.
I was going to say,
That's inside.
exactly.
Yeah.
Taking the inside.
Everybody goes this way. You said balls.
I didn't know where to go.
You know, it's a
No,
fast
you made the right play. You made the right play there. You got the corner
I went
there.
right for once, so.
Respect. I like that. Good driving joke. Okay, let's talk about it, Kyle. So last year, when you were doing the Indy 500, the double, how many people had done it in the past?
5 have attempted it. Only Tony Stewart's the only guy to finish all 1,100 miles.
Okay, 1,100 miles in a car one day. Obviously, the Indianapolis 500, the biggest race on earth every single year, the greatest spectacle on earth every single year. And with so much history, tradition, this city and state, like, it's the biggest thing that happens in the world, basically. So you attempting that as a NASCAR driver and then going and doing a 600-mile race, which is long, right? Isn't that a long race for you guys?
It could be 4 to 5 hours probably, depending on cautions. Yeah, it's long.
Okay, so, and you're a thin lad. I don't know where all the sweat's coming from while you're doing this and everything like that. But when you were doing it last year, there's been some F1 guys that have come in and tried the Indy 500. Obviously, there's been some rookie. There's a rookie this year on the pole that everybody's excited about. But whenever you came in to do this last year, there was people that were flocking from all over the country to come here. People were showing up at our out here, and they were like, "Hey, we're coming to Indianapolis. First time we're here. We're from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey, first time we're here. We're
Virginia.
from Virginia. Hey, we're from Illinois." And they said, "We just want to come take a picture of the Thunderdome." And we asked them, we're like, "What are you here for?" They're like, "Kyle Larson. We're here to watch Kyle Larson do his thing." They call you a man who's the best driver of cars, maybe in the last 2-3 generations or whatever. How does that make you feel whenever people say that? And have you just committed your entire life to racing? When did you start, like, with the dominating of folks in a car?
Well, starting off with your first question, it does make me feel really good. You know, when people compare me to like Tony or Mario, AJ Foyt, guys like that. But I try not to pay much attention to it just because I'm still only 32 and I feel like I got a lot of racing left in my career before I should be allowed to be in that category. But no, I started when I was really young. I grew up in California racing go-karts and dirt track stuff, all really dirt track until I got to NASCAR, and always wanted to do the Indy 500 too. So it's pretty neat to get the chance to do it and get to do multiple races in the same day is pretty awesome.
What do you have? You have a no fear thing, obviously, and I think there's a couple different speeds. I guess over 200 miles an hour. I guess now you guys are 235, so over 220 probably. I think there's a separator between drivers, is what I've heard from living here in Indianapolis. It's like, hey, there's difference. People that can go over 220. It's like people in baseball. People that can hit the curveball and people that can't hit the curveball. It's like whoever can control themselves at a higher speed. There's like a certain group of people and then everybody else is below that. For the Indy 500 and for IndyCar, much faster than NASCAR.
Yeah.
And it felt like last year as I was watching, you were learning what you were doing basically throughout the race. I actually put a tweet out about it. It was like, it feels like Kyle is literally learning his car in the middle of the Indy 500. Is that true? And how much more prepared are you for this year's?
I would say, so last year, you get so much practice time during these 2 weeks at Indy. Like, you learn your car, you know, pretty well. But it's like, I've never raced in an IndyCar race. So, like, the race procedure is a lot different. The restarts, just the drivers, the pit stops, like all the little details that are different from NASCAR. But I did have some mistakes on one of the earlier restarts and fell back and then had to overcome that. So that was cool. I felt like I learned a lot. It was a shifting thing, wasn't it? Yeah. I restarted, I think, in like first gear and I hit the rev limiter right when I shifted. So then I like maybe overreacted and grabbed another gear and fell into third. And then I was just bogging. And yeah, it was a bad deal, but learned from it. So hopefully this year is a little bit different.
Yeah, so with the driving, the racing, have you raced against these guys or everybody in their own little worlds?
Just only in the Indy 500 last year. A lot of these guys, you know, have a totally different background than me, you know, racing in Europe and stuff. So Me coming from dirt tracks and stock cars, like, yeah, the only time I race these guys is on Sunday.
Okay, so what's the difference? Rubbin's racing's NASCAR.
That's right.
Rubbin's racing.
Yeah.
Here, there's not a lot. There's a lot of racing, but there's not next to no rubbing, right? Because the cars.
Open wheel. Yeah. We've already seen a lot of cars, or a few cars, turn over upside down.
Colton
by
Herta,
themselves.
McLaughlin.
Yeah. I spun out on Fast Friday. Thankfully, didn't flip, but no.
We don't want to do PTSD here, but I believe this is you.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I got lucky. That was pretty generous wreck for the Speedway. But honestly, too, like going back to the stock car versus IndyCar stuff, like I think there's more similarities than there are differences. Like I know they look different, and you're going way faster at Indy than you do in NASCAR. You know, we probably go 195 at Indy there, but the overall feel of the car, the downforce, our new NASCAR cars are much similar, like independent suspension, the underbody of aero effects. So what I feel behind the wheel is pretty similar. So I feel like it makes the learning curve not as steep as maybe it would for others.
How much you weigh?
135.
That's an advantage, right? Like horse jockeys, the lighter they are, obviously, the better for the horse to run. A lot of racers that I've met, smaller body. Connor Daly's built like a middle linebacker. I always thought that was potentially working
He
against
looks like
him.
he's thinned out though. I seen him this week. He's
Atta baby,
thinning
Con.
out.
Hey, atta baby, Con.
He's running fast.
Lean, he's lean. No, I would say it's an advantage, but it's not like an extreme advantage because we all have, like, our cars weigh the same. So like even though I'm light and Connor and he's not even the biggest guy there. Say there's a guy that weighs 200 pounds, like I just have to add more weight to my car to make it equal. So,
so you have a weight
you can
limit.
kind of position that weight, balance where you'd want it. So that's where I think the advantage comes from.
Got it. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, just curious, like because you're not full time, and I think like the race community as a whole, I mean, I'm not like a huge race fan, but when you come here, like, what is your relationship like with the other drivers? Like, do they kind of scoff? I mean, everyone knows what you've done in NASCAR, but I assume none of these guys want to see you come in and win the Indy 500 in your second running.
Yeah, do Indianapolis people want to see? I think race fans want to see you win, right?
I think Indianapolis fans and stuff do, and honestly, I don't know, like. I haven't really personally asked them, but I would feel like, at least for me, coming from NASCAR, when guys have come in, like Shane Van Gisbergen, and he came and ran a cup race at Chicago a couple years ago and won. And although it's like not the coolest thing, because not that it makes you look bad or anything, but you have an immense amount of respect for all competitors. So when they come into a new form and do a good job, I think it's really cool. So I would imagine, maybe not all the guys want to see me do great, but I think there's a respect level there that yes, you'd be happy to see somebody do good. That doesn't do it all the
You do
time.
any dirt racing in Indy?
I raced at Kokomo last Monday.
But growing up,
But yeah. So I grew up in California, and then my path kind of followed Jeff Gordon. So I moved to Indiana in 2011, ran USAC. So I ran around a lot of these tracks here. 2012.
you're up in Anderson up there?
That's pavement track, so I didn't do much pavement racing.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Of
so I've
course,
never
of
raced there,
course.
but Gas City, Kokomo, Putnamville, Lawrenceburg. I'll be at Lawrenceburg next Friday. So I do a lot of dirt racing around Indiana. So I feel like the fans love me here.
Yes, I think so too. Like I think it was a very welcome thing. Like you mentioned him coming in and winning the Indy 500. I think that's the only reason why they would be okay with it is because they feel like he's cut his teeth. He's cut his teeth here in the racing state, because that's how people in Indiana genuinely view it. Is it different, the Indy 500, that energy?
It's huge. Yeah, like not only just the race, but like all the days of practice that you have. I'll go practice, like we'll have a practice day in NASCAR, and there might be 5,000 people there. At Indy, there's like 75,000 people, every day. So it's kind of crazy that the event is that big, spread out over 2 weeks, and there's fans there all the time. So yeah, the amount of pictures, autographs, and all that you sign is crazy, but it's fun, it's cool. It makes you just feel like the event is just unlike any other, which it is. So it's cool to be a part of.
Well, you're immortalized forever too. You win an Indy 500, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the racing world.
Yeah, I mean, you get your face on the trophy. So
Connor has a question for you.
Yeah. So when did you know, hey, I'm going to be a racer? Like, obviously, moving was a big deal, but before you even moved, was it something where you were in California, knowing just beating the shit out of a bunch of surfers? Like, oh, I'm gonna be really
were
good
you
at
surfing fast?
Yeah.
I was Northern California, so I didn't do any surfing.
Okay.
But
You running through the wine?
Yeah. For me, obviously, I'm not built to play other sports. So thankfully, I think my family had a big passion for racing. I did too, and it was just something I was good at, and made a lot of friends and memories and all that, and then just wanted to chase heroes of mine like Jeff and Tony, and guys like that. So just fortunate to have a passion for something.
So you said you started at go-karts?
Yeah, out in California.
On dirt tracks?
Dirt ovals, yep.
How fast were you going? How old were you?
So the karts that I grew up racing, they have like a 2-stroke 500cc engine on them. Okay. They weigh back then like 400 pounds. So the power to weight ratio is crazy. Like they're popping wheelies and spinning the tires. So no power steering, no suspension. So they were beating
How old were you?
Oh, I was probably 11 then. When I got to that class, but I started in like box stocks, which would be like a Briggs and Stratton engine, like a lawnmower style engine. From like 7 to 9, but then you go like a big step to the next division, which is crazy.
And then you go from that.
Then I went from that to sprint cars, which is another huge step.
Dangerous.
Right? Yeah,
those are super dangerous, right?
Yeah, 950 horsepower, 1,400 pounds. Like they're crazy. Yeah,
drifting around.
Sprint cars and midgets and dirt track, and then got into stock cars.
You ever do like Smoke right now is doing the drag racing?
Yeah, I haven't done that. Yeah,
he's a funny
he's
car.
Top fuel. He's top fuel.
Oh,
he's kicking butt. He just won again this weekend.
Yeah.
But
I feel like he's getting the hang of it.
Smoke, baby.
He's the GOAT. He's the best, so he can figure anything out.
When you were a kid, you were just seeing better lines, better reaction time.
I don't know what goes into it, but just
like what you did right here.
I think when you're
you can just see it.
Yeah.
I think when you're young, you just kind of have a natural talent, but then when you get older and your racing gets all good, adults and kids or whatever, not kids, but adults, that's when you kind of have to work at it more. So, but yeah, I would say in the beginning, and probably still now, a lot of it's natural.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, there's a reason why people are here.
Yeah,
it's probably most athletes. Everybody works hard at it, but you got to have some sort of natural ability.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you have to work hard, though.
Yeah.
Like TC.
Sure. Yeah, Tom Cruise has natural ability.
Yeah.
He works his ass off.
Bingo.
And then he says, you know what? I think I can stand out on this wing right here.
Yeah.
And then I can flip it upside down. And then I can fly a plane with my foot.
He's got a great NASCAR movie, too.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
And Brad Pitt's got an F1 coming out, which we will continue this conversation with Kyle Larson on digital, YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and more. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. All right, we're off ESPN. We're still on digital. We're still live.
Okay.
Very live.
Yep.
F1. D-Butt literally is pooping his pants because we had some. Yeah, I don't know if we should have done. We found some popcorn that had been in our office for maybe a couple years.
Extra salt, extra butter.
Yeah, it's not bad, but he's a massive F1 fan.
Yeah.
You guys probably have seen, especially in the NASCAR world, because NASCAR used to be, the thing. I think it still is. Obviously, still sells out tracks.
Yeah.
Still sells out everything. Like NASCAR is still a big deal. F1 had that reality show and just became like,
blew up.
Yeah, it did blow up. I, living in Indianapolis, Indiana, did not grow up in the race community, but I did watch the Indy 500, got to meet a lot of the drivers, like kind of started learning about it. And I watched the Indy racing, and they're racing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a lot of racing. I watch a NASCAR, and it's a lot of, hey, we're trying to win. Mm-hmm. I watch these F1 races, and boy, I'm pretty bored.
Yeah. Sucks.
It is.
Yeah.
They're big cars. They got a lot of money around it, a lot of superstars around it. The reality show was obviously awesome, but as somebody that was like kind of just dropped into Indianapolis and then given like full, like, hey, you can go down to the pits. I can literally like learn about this however much I want to or however little I want to. How do you guys feel about F1 driving? And have you ever been asked to go drive in F1?
I've never been asked to drive an F1. I think it's tough coming from my background of dirt tracks and ovals, but I went to Abu Dhabi in 2021. It was sick. Like the event was awesome. I mean, like it was incredible. But yeah, the racing's not what we are accustomed to in America. Like I think there it's crazy how big it is because you're right. Like it's not super exciting, but I think it's the stuff outside of it, the celebrities that are there, the engineering, the money, just everything about that. The big brands, on the cars and stuff. But, I feel like NASCAR and IndyCar here in America, like you can't find much more exciting racing than what we have here. So I'm fortunate to get to run both of them, but I would definitely never turn down the opportunity to go.
And I think you are a guy, if I'm getting the temperature of the race community right, just because you've been here the last 2 years, I think you would be a guy that America Racing would be like, yep, we would like to see Kyle go ahead and represent for us over there. So hopefully one day that's able to happen. Didn't they shut down an American team and then I think they're like European soccer.
Cadillac's coming.
Yeah,
Haas is out there, and then Cadillac's coming next year.
They're based out of here.
Yeah, they have a really nice facility right by our race shop in Charlotte. It's It's big. It's cool.
So Charlotte calls itself
Charlotte's like the Indianapolis of NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah. I know because I'll go down to Charlotte and they'll be like, it's the home of racing.
I didn't know that.
Nope. It is Indianapolis, yeah. Charlotte
That's
is
sweet.
That is the home. Hendricks Motorsports has a whole campus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that's where you went to do the
Oh,
picture
shit,
stuff.
yeah.
That was where I went. You got like, they have ex-college football players running the pits.
Oh, yeah.
They have like weight room. They have gym in the morning. They have
Big
film.
dudes.
They're
Jimmy's
making
car or
like
Jeff's
they're
car?
making a huge facility now for like a new fitness center. It's gonna be legit. Like it's college like level campus. You know, like I think they went and toured Alabama, so it'd be pretty similar to that.
Yeah, it was a college campus. We went over to practice with the pit crew.
Yep.
Then we went over to the gym to lift with some another team's pit crew. Then we went and had some food. There was a big, obviously, a diner, and it's like it's kind of all encompassing down there.
Yeah.
And what a sport NASCAR's been. Moonshiners, right? Isn't that how it all started?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, running some moonshine back in the day.
So you can build engines and shit?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not a car guy at all. I just hold the steering wheel, press the gas pedal. I don't know much about
I
building
love
a
that.
car.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
Stick me in the seat and go, and I'll try and make it go as fast as I can.
Let's go.
A lot of drivers, when it doesn't go their way, what I've learned from an extended period of time here in Indianapolis is it's the car's fault. Okay, a lot of the car getting blamed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard that in the race. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So that's yeah. I gave it all I could today. The car, the boys.
Yeah.
We
This is
tried.
all we had. This is all we had.
Bingo.
All the car had.
Is that real? Is that a real excuse being said?
It is a legit, excuse a little bit, but I try hard not to, do that too often because I do feel like, the driver obviously means a ton. So, but yes, there's always only, so much you can do with your car. Like if you got a 20th place car, it's really hard to win with it. It's hard to crack the top 10 sometimes, but if you get a car that, is 10th, you can do some things and execute your competitors and win.
So can you explain to people who maybe don't know the race world as much? If you have a 20th car or a 10th car, what you're talking about is literally the fastest that this car can go is probably about the 10th fastest in this particular race because of some bolt being tightened a little bit more on some other car or what?
No, just like the setup of it, the shocks, the springs, all the mechanics and the engineering that goes on with making the most grip and speed and aerodynamics out of the car. Not necessarily just a bolt being tighter than another's, but
that is like potentially something though.
Oh yeah, I mean if you have something fall off, for sure, yeah, you can.
But like what I've heard is you all get similar chassis or something like that, and then there's like changes to like one little thing, like we're gonna drop the front fender just like this a little bit, and then
like not even a quarter of an inch. You're talking like less. You know?
And that can add like 3 miles an hour for
downforce, whatever. Yeah, it's finicky. Like all the cars now, even IndyCar is probably more so.
Definitely,
it's pretty similar though, but. Yeah, just with spec racing, like, our cars are pretty similar. So, like, any little advantage that you find could be worth, a decent amount.
And that's why these engineers are getting paid so much.
Yeah, and that's why you have, hundreds of engineers.
The guys on the computers and girls on the computers during the races, they're, like, reading how every part of the car is reacting.
You'll be studying pictures of other teams' cars and looking, at little features they might have on there, tweaked from what you would have, or, like, trying to judge their tire pressures and... It's
a very scientific thing that's going on. I think back in the day, it used to be a little bit more run and gun, right? Like have a pit crew, we're going to build the engine. And I don't think they had regulations on how much, like if you could get more power, you can get more power. So it's a little bit out of control. Now that there's regulations on it, it's like being able to win within it is a massive part of it. It's going on with the Penske team right now. They're saying it's not just the Penske team, it's been happening throughout the entirety. It's like that is racing as a whole. I think you're always trying
to push the limits on everything, so any small advantage, and I'm sure it's the same in stick and ball sports. You're trying to find the edge of the rules and get your advantage within that. So it's no different in racing.
Yeah, just super 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 smart people.
Yeah.
With like this guy's in professional sports. He's lead engineer for a car that blah blah blah. It's like, what does he do every day? He tries to make the greatest, most. What's that called?
Aerodynamic.
Yeah, boom. Aerodynamic vehicle of all time while having more power than any car has ever had. Yeah. How fast will you go during a race?
Indy?
Yeah.
I would say in the draft, we're probably still in the 230s, 235, like top speed.
You need Tom Cruise in there.
Yeah.
They need to drop Tom Cruise in there.
They're not going fast enough for TC.
Yeah, 405. When that gets to 300 miles an hour, let Tom Cruise know. Go ahead. Tom.
So the situation happened last year with Dugard, I believe. All right, so say it's the last lap, Indy 500. Would you rather be in first or second?
That's a good Man, like looking at where Pato was last year, I don't see how you do anything different, really. You know, like Newgarden, his car was so extremely good, and it was hard for others to build those runs on the backstretch. So I think, he had his run on the front stretch, and he took his, opportunity. And then you're just hoping that you have just enough, which he almost, had just enough, speed and distance before he got to turn 3. So, man, I don't know. I'd be curious what Pato would think, but if you got the opportunity to take the lead on the last lap, you have to take it. Like, I feel like you can't wait until turn 2 and, like, hope that you're going to have this run or no.
No, you guys are setting up the move, aren't you?
Yeah.
Slingshot.
Yeah.
I think you got to get to the lead, is when you can.
The weather made last year chaotic for you.
Yeah.
Tough.
It literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
literally-
Midwest.
it literally
weather.
pissed on your entire play.
Yep.
Like that was actually what happened.
it did.
Weather,
The same storm, literally the same storm that delayed the Indy 500, got to Charlotte in time for me to get there.
Two-time.
Literally right when I got there.
it was
And
such a
just
sick
rained
plan
that
too.
out, yeah.
Plane, helicopter, we're in.
Yep.
McGee was following you,
Yep,
so anytime you got
exactly.
McGee
So
on the
cool.
trail, obviously that's great. But weather's a big deal for these cars, right? Like this weekend, I think it's supposed to be
Like
60s.
68.
Yeah, it'd be colder. So
Is that good or bad?
I mean, drivers would prefer like hotter conditions probably, although it'd be tougher in the car because it'd be hot in the car. Like the tires don't stick to the surface as good, so it would be sliding around more and more mistakes, which allows for more passing. When it's cooler, the track's got more grip. Drivers are making less mistakes. The speeds just kind of stay faster. So yeah, typically I prefer warmer conditions.
Okay, so when it's colder, you said more grip?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, more grip. I don't know why.
And you
but-
want less grip for more mistakes so you can take advantage
Yeah.
of?
Yeah. I would
That's
say
an
most.
awesome theory. I did not know that was good. I assumed, because they always said the weather, and I always assumed hotter was faster, and that would be more grippy because it would be
No,
sticky.
I just think because the surface gets hot, your tires get hotter, so then it just becomes like slimy, on
Melts.
top of the surface. Yeah,
and
a
you're
little
looking
bit.
for all you're looking for is somebody to accidentally slime a little bit
Yeah.
to the right, just a little bit.
Miss it a little bit.
What's the move? Hey, do people watch film on each other? Like, what is
Yeah.
your move?
I mean, it probably depends on like track and type of car I might be in, but yeah, I mean, you're always studying like your competitors or previous races to see what moves worked, like restarts especially.
What's a
like,
standard move? You think like a setup and then like a duck? Like, what is?
I mean, at Indy, it's pretty simple. Like, you have to get this big run off of, say, turn 2 or turn 4, and then catch the draft, and then, you just make your move. It's pretty simple. But restarts is where it gets crazy. The field's bunched up. It's hard to pass, so you're trying to make the most of the restarts. It'll fan out 3, 4 wide. The draft is, like, crazy big in the IndyCar, which is weird to feel, compared to stock car we have drafting, but like IndyCar, it's like you get in that pocket of air and it's like a full boost.
You can feel it.
Oh yeah, it gets quiet because the wind is now like you're inside of this pocket of air, so it gets like kind of silent. It's kind of
That's like out of a movie.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
that's like out of you feeling it for the
And then
first
you,
time.
like, you
Oh
pull
shit,
out.
I'm in here right now.
Yeah.
Well, then you pull out, and then you have all the wind back on top of your car, and it gets like loud. And you like your car starts moving around a little bit. It's different.
Did it rattle you a little bit the first time you felt it in the race?
No.
No, you're a dog. Yeah. All right, yeah, you understood what was going to happen there. You guys in NASCAR there for a little bit. Remember when you guys were doing the F1 style of racing, where you guys were literally just nose on tail?
Oh yeah, the tandem style. That was before my time.
Thank God. That was terrible. I turned that on, and I'm like, how do they think this is what?
hell?
How do they think? And I was being told I didn't understand draft and all this shit. And it's like, I just know that looks stupid. You guys look like literally caterpillars rolling around the entire race. Do you like what the changes that NASCAR has made? What is it, the 3 thing now?
Yeah.
What's that?
The
Three-
three-
Like
legs.
stages.
Yeah.
Oh, the stages. I don't. I could take it or leave it. I think for me, I would like to not have stages because I think it makes the strategy of the race way better because you don't know when the caution's coming. When you know that the caution's coming, it's so easy to plan your race and like, all right, we're gonna pit midway through this stage and that's gonna get us. And then you never get to really like pushing the length of your tires to where they're like completely wearing out. So I think if we didn't have stages, you would see more drivers like pushing early in the run and falling back later in the run and things like that. So, but also I think stages is good because where life is and like the attention span of younger adults these days. So like the timed caution is probably better for them, and TV too, getting their commercials in and all that. So there's more that goes into it.
Yeah, but the play-through, brother, you can have the.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the way
I agree.
marketing.
I wish they would do more of that, but yeah.
Okay, I'm happy you said that, and I think you saying that will have a lot of say because all of us, we're outsiders in this entire thing. But you'll turn on a NASCAR race or whatever, and it'll be like, we're in stage 1, we got this many laps left, and it's like, I don't care. Stage 1, does that mean you win the race? No, you don't win the race.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're having a quarter, they're having a period. I'm sorry, and then I need to get to I want to be here in the third period. That's where I want to be. So for me, that it's done that.
Especially when you grew up when it was just like, oh, you start on lap 1. On lap 225, the race is over.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they have to go.
Yeah.
And to your point about strategy, gas is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Tires is a big deal.
Tires more so than gas at a lot of the tracks, but yeah.
Somebody won the 500 2 years ago. They ran out of gas as they finished. There's a gas strategy. You know the gas strategy at Indy 500? Have you and the boys talked about the gas strategy?
You've got like different fuel mappings to like lean your engine out, which cuts power but saves fuel, and then and you
can steal some first laps.
Yeah,
which obviously ups the check. You can steal some, just stay out longer than everybody else. You can steal some first.
Like people don't want to be leading the race because then you're burning the most fuel. You want to be in that draft so you can like be off the throttle, saving fuel. It just extends your runs and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's a big piece for us to know.
Yeah, there's so much strategy that goes into every race. But yes, especially Indy with the fuel. Fuel's, I feel like, from what I've learned, most important there.
Good, AJ's wearing a youth large Devontae Adams New York Jets jersey.
Yes, I am. Kyle, you talked about you're 135 pounds. I wonder, like, what you have to do physically to get ready for, a big race season. I imagine there's not a whole lot of time when you're actually out of the car for an extended period. But what is the most grueling racing that you think that you do on your body physically?
Yeah, so I'm unique because I do get to race a lot of different types of racing. And I'm racing all the time, so I'm not really home at the gym all the time. But when I am home, I like to get in there and do gym. I really enjoy riding my bike. I feel like my cycling for the endurance of it is good for like NASCAR. But then when I do my dirt track stuff, those are 30 lap races, and in the intensity, like my heart rate will spike, right away. Where like in NASCAR, I wear this Garmin watch and I track my heart rate at all my races. Like in NASCAR, I'll be average of 140, 150 throughout the race. You might have your moments where it gets up there and whatnot, but sprint car racing, the 950 horsepower, 1,400 pounds, it might be a 7-minute race, but my heart rate will be like 195 the whole time.
Jeez.
Just gassed. So I like the intensity of that. So I think with the training, that part of it's weird for me, probably because I should do more like endurance, but then I also have to like be ready for intense moments too. So.
Don't you guys do a lot of this shit? I've been to a couple IndyCar.
Like the rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of that. That's part of it. Yeah.
The forearms.
Yeah.
And then the shoulders.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've tapped out of one of those.
The reflex thing too.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. Yeah, hand-eye kind of, cognitive stuff. That's good for your brain.
Anybody smoke weed over there? No.
We're not allowed to.
Why?
Don't get drug tested.
No, it's just, you talking about the shoulders and stuff in both the crashes this weekend where they flipped over. Their hands immediately went here. You guys, is that taught in just Indy or NASCAR as well? Or?
I would say mostly Indy is where. So like we never did that really in NASCAR until Danica came.
Yeah.
And I think it's because when you spin or hit the wall in IndyCar, like the wheel is just spinning so fast. So like a lot of people break their wrists if you keep your hand on the wheel too long. So yeah, like you've kind of just naturally got trained now. Like whenever you get ready to hit the wall, I just brace and. Mostly just so I don't break a wrist or anything like that.
Sense.
Then the sparks flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they both did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Didn't always have that top. What's that halo? I guess the top halo. IndyCar didn't used to have that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, think about that's why it's called open wheel, right?
Open wheel just because the tires are out there. Like there's no fenders, around the tires. Yeah.
Okay, open ass wheel. Okay. They will take a trip out of the speedway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Seen it.
Yeah, seen just last year. The run out of gas, Alexander Rossi.
Oh yeah, that was
2016. He won the race by running out of gas just before crossing the finish line. He stretched his final tank of fuel over 90 miles, and with the help of a tow, finished the final lap at a slow speed, allowing him to take the checkered flag with an empty fuel tank because everybody else is going in. So they're going in, and he's just stealing laps while they're going in.
Yeah.
And then he gets so far ahead, because the entire commentator is like, is he gonna make it?
Yeah.
And then he finally finished, and he won. Congrats to Rossi, absolute dog. So I'm saying that's a strategy.
Yeah.
And there's also, smaller race teams that I potentially sponsored a car in that you talk about being in first, not great for if you're going to win, but if you're one of the smaller race teams,
Good for exposure.
when everybody else is pitting,
Yeah.
we're staying out. We're staying out here. We're top 5 right now. Top 5 right now. And
That was me. So last year I ended up speeding on pit road, at the end of it. So we got our strategy kind of off, and like my crew guy, or the strategist, he kept me out so I could lead some laps. I was like, man, that's kind of embarrassing. That's not really the way I wanted to lead laps at the Indy 500, but
no, but
I'll take it.
only people that really know what's happening. Like the majority of fans that are watching are just like, oh shit,
Yeah, exactly. I know. Like I
I
would read, oh, he led laps in his first Indy 500. He did so great. I'm like, man, I kind of like sped on pit road and like had to lead some laps while everybody else pitted. So
you said you're doing dirt track racing with next week,
yeah, Lawrenceburg. Yep.
so you just stay out here.
No, I'll go. So I'll race the
Coca-Cola.
600. Yeah, and then I'll get to hang out at home for a little bit.
Okay, so night before we're doing pasta, we're doing water.
Yeah, a little. I don't know. Probably some pasta would be good. I like some pasta, but
What
race
type of pasta? What type of pasta we doing? You like rigatone?
Chicken
spaghetti,
Alfredo?
little spaghetti meat sauce.
Spaghetti?
Oh,
No,
spaghetti.
I would say before the race though, I'm pretty standard, like chicken, veggies, rice.
Got it. What?
And then after, I think before, like when I'm on the plane going to Charlotte, I'll probably do like a Mexican style bowl, protein bowl, and then last year I got an IV and was ready to rock.
Those are amazing, the IVs.
Yeah.
I'm happy we've gotten to a point in society where nurses just show up with, hey, you don't feel good? No. All right. Give us 15 minutes and they just plug us in.
Fix me.
That's a big deal, AJ, I think, for the humans as a whole, that is possible. I think Vegas is credited with probably starting it, right?
For the hangover cures, yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think Vegas used to drive around and you could get picked up on the street and get them.
Legitimately, I think Vegas kind of started it like, hey, you're going to be dead tomorrow. We got the answer. We got 4 nurses that quit their jobs. Now they show up with IVs.
Right to your hotel room.
Right, boom. We're going to go do your, yes. Okay, so you,
Yeah.
boy likes to live
Yeah,
well.
this guy gets it.
We like that a lot. And then like now everywhere has it. Like now everywhere has a, I think Gumpy was getting an IV drip every single Sunday, basically.
Great spot downtown.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like
It's unbelievable.
We're just at a period of time now where it's just normal. Like, just go get an IV, get figured out. Locker rooms of football teams used to do it at halftime, and it would all be all the doctors trying to prick them. Remember? They wouldn't travel with nurses. It would be surgeons who are like 60 years old who haven't set up an IV in
30, 40
years.
years.
Yeah,
Tyrod Taylor.
They're going to do it. Yep.
Damn near.
Well, that was a shot.
But yeah.
Yeah, similar thing. All right, I'm happy you're getting plugged in. Good luck for the 600 and the 500, 1,100 miles of racing. I think everybody's excited to hopefully watch it go off without a hitch, without Mother Nature getting involved. It looks like early indications that a Doppler is it's going to be a beautiful Sunday for you to go racing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks. I keep my fingers crossed that the rain stays away this year.
Okay, so who all do we got to give credit to? I know you racers have to fucking...
HendrickCars.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Chevrolet, Air McLaren, Prime. I got Amazon Prime following me around for the last couple of years. We're doing
Wow, Bezos!
Yeah, no, so...
That's how you got that car out there.
Hey,
it's a loaner.
Oh, okay.
Still.
I can't believe you're driving that in Indiana.
Yeah, so I realized there's no license plate on it right now either. So I'm like,
You're
what
good.
do I do if I get
You're
pulled
good.
over?
Cops,
You just beat him. You just drive
yeah,
fast.
you don't get pulled over. No, the cops understand. There's an old story here in Indianapolis where somebody was driving on a highway, like a car like you were driving. They get pulled over, and a cop, like as the cop's walking up, goes, "Who do you think you are, Mario Andretti?" And then peeks it. It is Mario Andretti. Like that is this city is ready for you to do whatever the hell you want in a car out there. But the potholes, I guess you.
Dude, yeah.
You got a good eye.
Bad here.
Bad.
So bad.
Good reflexes.
Just so everybody knows what we're talking about, he showed up in a McLaren, I think. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
It's about this high off the ground, nasty. Absolutely nasty. And our first thought, everybody's first thought when it pulled in was, how did he make it here? From
They make it in the parking lot.
Dodge
Even
all
our
the
parking
potholes.
yeah, it's like there's crazy. Yeah, even out here. Yeah, we have not helped these situations. Beautiful car, as are the IndyCar and NASCARs, and we appreciate you taking the time, and we appreciate you committing to Indianapolis like this. Not only as a child,
I love
racing.
Indy. I love Indy. I lived here for a couple years, so it's always like another home.
Well, good. We love that fact that you're doing the Indy 500. Maybe do it every year. Are you going to do it every year?
We'll see. I don't know. Right now, this is it, but it's so fun that I feel like I'll have FOMO if I miss it. So
I think everybody wants you to do it too.
Yeah, need to see it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to win both.
Need to win both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I got a lot of friends that are in that. I got a lot of friends that are
Just
in.
win, dude.
We got a lot of friends in that Indy 500. Okay, and Big fan of all of them, especially with the mindset that Newgarden's going in to this race after what happened with the qualies. He wasn't able to run his car because of something that was happening that I don't think he knew about or Penske knew about it clearly.
Fired everybody.
Fired everybody today, just a few days before the biggest event of the year in the season. But to those boys, I say, you guys had your shot. You need to go win these things.
Yeah.
That'd be great for racing. Yeah. I mean, that'd be great for racing as a whole. And everybody thinks you're the guy to do it. So good luck out there.
Thank you, guys.
Stay
Thanks for
safe.
having me on. Yeah,
Stay
thank
safe.
you.
All right. Shout out to Tom Cruise. Shout out to Kyle Larson. T's and P's, the D-Butch.
Yeah,
and we're going to get the hell out of here. AJ, you really crushed it on this Jersey Wednesday, brother.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, this is my last Jersey day, I think. So, yeah.
I'll send you a new one. We'll figure it out.
Thank you.
Connor loves the jersey. It was literally 4 minutes before we went live. He goes, we're all wearing jerseys. Aren't we all wearing jerseys?
Thought we were.
He said, you have a jersey right over your shoulder. Right there. There's your jersey. Just put the jersey on. And then I thought I fucking ruined it for the Pacers. So I'm kind of in a bad spot right now. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to you, AJ. We'll be back tomorrow. It's conference finals tonight.
Here we go.
Let's enjoy the hell out of that. Good luck in that car, brother. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me.
Team.
Yeah. Not yet.
Hold on.
Guy's a racer.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
yeah.
Ready to go. Good reflex.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.